Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. A few weeks ago, we broke the news on World of Railways that Hornby's public spokesperson and star of its recent TV series, Simon Kohler, was to leave the company. Came as a surprise to us, certainly. And well, Simon joins us now for a chat about what the future holds in store for him. And he'll likely point out, I have a sneaky suspicion about this, that retirement is certainly not on the cards. So, Simon, what are your plans? What's happening?
Well, you're right about one thing. Retirement is certainly not part of my plans. I quite frankly, I wouldn't know what to do with my time. You know, this wonderful business I'm in has been my life for well over 50 years now. So, you know, I couldn't see myself spending my time counting the blades of grass and giving them each name. So it's not my cup of tea. So what am I doing? Well, when I had my last sabbatical from Hornby, I set up a consultancy, Kohler Comms, and basically offered my services, marketing services, to whoever and however many people wanted to have it. So during those times, I worked for the Science Museum, a couple of magazines, etc., and basically had quite a varied business, and it was interesting, and it actually allowed me to develop your thinking. You know, when if you're not careful, you get stuck in a bubble, and you don't what the world is like outside, or at least you tell yourself you do. But it's when you, as somebody said to me once, if you're not working, you're not earning. And to be honest, it does focus the mind. But all the same, that you look upon that as part of the enjoyment and part of the joy of actually working, which I thoroughly do. So I've taken that Kohler Comms out of mothballs, and off we go again. So it will be interesting to see what does happen over time. I can tell you what will happen. I won't be getting up at 4:30 in the morning, and I won't be sitting at my desk at 5:30. I might be sitting at my desk at 6:30, so I'll give myself an extra hour.
Well, it certainly came as a surprise, your departure, and I know it struck a chord with many people wishing you all the best for the future. It also raised a few questions, though, regarding the future of the likes of the Hornby TT120 range, which I know you've put your heart and soul into developing, and the brand as a whole. So, what do you think now, as a future outsider? What do you think Hornby needs to do now to grow its market share, both now and into the future?
That is a good question, and obviously I have to be relatively careful because obviously I have a huge amount of loyalty to Hornby. But I would say this anyway, even if I was still part of the Hornby team. What we need to do, what Hornby needs to do, is continue with what they're doing, which is a planned release schedule. Try and keep to that schedule as closely as possible. It's important that those who have invested in TT and those who are thinking of investing can see that there is a consistency and a sincerity for the brand to progress and succeed. I mean, it is succeeding at the moment. And looking then, at the moment, and Hornby did come into a lot of criticism. I came into criticism for having the TT range only available online. Now there is a strategy attached to that, and the strategy was that if you're knocking on the door of Mr. Retailer with something that is totally utterly unproven, and they quite justifiably would say, well, why would I invest in it? Because I don't know whether it sells. And the point there is now is we can say, when we do knock on the door, it does sell. We can show that and we can prove that. I mean, I can tell you now that we ordered, I ordered quite a decent quantity of sets, 2 sets, or at the end of the day, 4 sets. We're thinking that would keep us through for a year. And those all went through within 5 months. And remembering they only came, we launched in October. First sets came in just prior to Christmas, and we were sold out by April.
Is this mostly in the UK, or are you finding orders from overseas as well?
With overseas, we've had a shipping issue with Australia, but that hopefully is on the way to being remedied. We obviously have markets over in Germany, but mainly it's been the UK, and it's been those enthusiasts who I've said in the past they would love to do double. They just don't have space. You know, they've always been interested in model railways. They've moved, they've downsized or whatever, and TT is that lovely size that fits well between 00 and N gauge. And it's large enough to get the detail and handle, but small enough to get into a relatively small space. So it ticks the boxes for a lot of people. It's been embraced, and that, you've no idea how encouraging that is, and how pleased and proud I am. I'm not sure whether I should use the word proud these days, but I am proud that I was shown faith in my convictions, invested quite a lot of money, a huge amount of money, but it's proving I was right. And it's great. It really is great. Those who've seen TT and actually handled it, and once it goes in to retail shops and so on, people will be able to again get a really good feel that it's small, but the details there. Not to be confused with TT back in the 60s. This is, put down to 120, which is the international scale.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, in Germany, yes, it's been embraced. They like certain locos, Flying Scotsman, Mallard, classic locos, and the HST, and that's terrific. And when we have the 66s, we'll have European 66s as well. There's a lot of crossover there. They're producing some container wagons, which will enter the Hornby UK market as well. So yeah, it's really good. It's slightly frustrating that I won't be sort of at the front of it all.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, from your days joining under the Hamilton Morgan brand, I should say, Hamilton Morgan, in the 1980s, apart from, as you fondly call it, your 3-year sabbatical from 2014, you've been at the heart of Hornby Hobbies for almost 40 years. And from our July 2023 issue, you will be able to read, if you have a look at BRM, July 2023 issue, Simon is going to cover 5 of his favourite memories when working at Hornby. I'm sure there are plenty more that you would like to talk about, but we had to drill it down to 5. But do you feel that now departing from the company, you are leaving it in better shape than when you arrived in 2017? Your latest
yeah. I mean, Lyndon Davis, Tim Mulhall, and myself came into Hornby. It was a company I didn't recognise. Quite frankly, the place was a mess. There was no structure with regards to product planning. There was no what we call proper plans for 2018. And remember, I walked back into there in October. The supply chain was not only broken, it was virtually non-existent. The place was chaotic, and we set about sorting all that, getting the right people in, getting people in with passion. And that's the thing, you have to have passion first and foremost, and getting those folks in, getting the right product, both not just in the Hornby, but Scale Extra, etc. Just changing the attitude, because product, new product, and anybody in this industry will tell you, new product drives this industry.
Absolutely.
And we, you know, we needed to invest, and that's exactly what we did. But again, part of that policy was actually TT. That was really right at the heart of it. And yeah, I'm leaving it in much better shape. We've got a strong team, we've got a strong marketing team, development teams, and so on. So yeah, it's a lot better than it was.
Well,
So,
I think it's okay. It's one thing that you're leaving Hornby, but it's great that you're not leaving the hobby. And obviously, we'll continue to see some of your products and things come through, perhaps through different channels. But we will continue to see that under your new Cola Comms revival. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those services that you'll be offering. Is this something that you'll be offering as a UK, or will it be an international service?
As a good friend of mine said some years ago, you never say no to a job, else it could be the last job. So wherever it comes from, yeah, I will go with it. The last time, I think the furthest job was China, which was putting in a model railway in a hotel. But no, have a briefcase, laptop, will travel. So yeah, anybody out there, do feel free.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I'm more than happy to get involved.
Simon, I really appreciate you sharing your plans for the future with us here today. And for anybody, a little promotion again, check out our July 2023 issue, and we'll catch up with Simon, no doubt, in the future. I'm looking forward to seeing what you get up to anyway, put it that way.
So am I.
Yeah. Thank you, Simon. Take care.
All right, Howard. You take care, mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Enthusiasm for railways large and small? What a wonderful hobby this is. Why not do something about it? But where to start? How do you get to the heart of the hobby, get closer to the action at exhibitions, discover better ways of making things, new products, and go behind the scenes at some of the UK's biggest railway attractions? Simple, a membership that delivers all this and more. Get every new issue of BRM, Traction, Engineering in Miniature, Narrow Gauge World and Garden Rail magazines before they arrive in shops. That's 5 magazines, and that's just the start. Access more than 800 back issues with the ability to search for articles. A growing archive of track plans for project inspiration. Exclusive behind-the-scenes videos. Win big with our monthly competitions. And gold membership to the online forum RM Web. Plus you get a free show ticket to one of our great weekends out. The Festival of British Railway Modelling, the London Festival of Railway Modelling, and Bristol Model Railway Exhibition. We think our digital subscription is the best, but don't take our word for it. Activate your no obligation free trial today and try for yourself. Simply give it a go and decide after you've sampled all the benefits. The ultimate digital subscription for the railway enthusiast, getting you to the heart of the hobby.